Hi, I'm Mark Boxer, Technical Manager with OFS, and here's what's new in my world. The first wave of fiber deployments were focused on single-family homes, and for good reason. There wasn't as much demand for bandwidth in MDUs or multi-dwelling units, and 15 to 20 years ago, we just really didn't have the same products that are now routinely used in MDUs, making MDUs 15, 20 years ago some expensive science projects. So, so much has changed now, and it really can now make sense to do MDUs first. So for a number of reasons, and we'll cover those. So first of all, broadband demand continues to rise in single-family homes and MDUs, and the commercial and regulatory environments are also changing. And very importantly, the industry has responded with new products and installation methods that dramatically simplify the installation process in MDUs. So as an industry, we've learned that fiber installations in MDUs need to be fast, easy, not visible to preserve the building decor. The fiber also needs to be able to withstand the many bends of an MDU building without using too much light. And products like OFS's Invisalite solutions enable these types of installations. We've also discovered that with these tools, fiber installations in MDUs really have now flipped the script. So these solutions are fast, they're easy and inexpensive to install, meaning these installations can also be very profitable for network operators to deploy. So at a time when outside plant cable lead times may be long, indoor fiber products may have shorter lead times, which means that service could be turned up more quickly. We've also discovered that with these tools, the products can be installed with the minimal amount of training. So a crew can be up and running within minutes to hours, or as we've heard people say before, on Thursday, he's a taxi driver. On Friday, he's an Invisalite installer. So you put all this together, and it can make sense for a service provider to consider MDUs first. So let's take a closer look. So the ultra bend insensitive fiber standard that's used in these builds is G.657B3. And the OFS brand name for this fiber type is Easy Bend Fiber, and it's deployed in products that you can bunch up, tie into knots, like this. So, basically you can do this kind of thing, and it's not a problem. You can run into very tight angles and also staple with little added loss. And we actually tune the optical fiber, the properties of the fiber to give excellent performance with very, very tight bends and long wavelengths. And so many MDUs have lots of bends, and if you use a typical outside plant cable to do what I just did with the knot, then that would turn out the lights. However, we routinely deploy Easy Bend and Invisalite in environments with dozens of 90-degree angles. So I was on a build a couple of weeks ago where we went through 45 90-degree angles, 2 splices, 2 connectors, with a loss less than half a dB from the splitter to the ONT, and frankly, that's pretty impressive. So the term Invisalite is a nod to the light that goes into the fiber, and the fact that it's also almost invisible to the resident. So here are a couple of pictures. So the first picture shows Invisalite MDU going down a hallway, and so really the only thing that you can see are small point of entry modules above each doorway, so you can barely see those. So the second picture is Invisalite ILU, which stands for Indoor Living Unit, which these products are 800 microns and are tiny, and really out of sight and out of mind. And the only way that you can tell that there was a fiber here, so there's actually a fiber up there going down, and the only way you can tell is there's a little module in this corner that ultimately would have a jumper that connects to the ONT. So out of sight, out of mind. So these products are deployed in literally minutes. So deploying to MDUs can be fast, inexpensive to deploy, inconspicuous with low optical loss, and a reasonably available supply chain. So when you add all of these benefits together, it's worth considering MDUs first, and that's what's new in my world.